Consider this. A telescope for deep space catches something out of the ordinary, something that not only defies our physical laws, but our comprehension of the universe as a whole. The live feed then appears suddenly, becomes black. The footage vanishes. Scientists stop talking. After a few days, an object can be seen hovering above the Earth's equator of the magnet, still observing, calculating. It goes by Neo Oumuamua, its message still unclear. However, one thing is certain. There's no comet here, and in accordance with information that NASA leaked and verified by a number of independent observatories, this object may be a component of a larger system that is already in the US. The Space Telescope of the James Webb's last transmission prior to the blackout did not provide comfort. It provided a warning. It also demonstrates that our greatest cosmic anxiety, never were we alone. We have now been seen. It started innocently like any other sky survey by the James Webb Space Telescope over the Pacific. Next, something emerged from the pitch black. First of all, it looked like the original Oumuamua, which traversed the solar system in 2017, a strange shape, quick and falling. However, it wasn't just passing time this time. As it got closer, it slowed down and changed direction before coming to a stop. NASA's live stream abruptly ended. Within minutes later, the raw footage was extracted. The Neo Oumuamua was given to the object and classified trajectory marked. But this is the part that nobody was supposed to see. JWST arrived just before the blackout, recorded a planned period of prime number pulses directed at the Earth's magnetosphere. The common language, as Carl Sagan describes intelligent life, predicted. It was not transmitted, it was a signal to target. And the scariest part, nothing was sent from our end. This we didn't hear from object. It previewed us. Private after the blackout, South African observatories and Chile reported readings that were off. Neo Oumuamua had altered her speed during flight without moving parts. It then settled down in geosynchronous orbit, directly parked at an elevation above the Earth's magnetic equator, a height at which no natural object should exist. Sensors for the atmosphere in Brazil and Ghana observed recurring vertical anomalies in pressure, as if something snooping into the atmosphere before returning. However, there is no visual data. Every telescope focusing on the positions suffered a shift in position or lens damage that cannot be explained. And it becomes worse. Thermal imaging was utilized, local control of temperature recommending active protection. According to NASA's internal memos, which were leaked, categorized these results as the precise definition of non-ballistic motion, utilized for controlled flight, indicating the object is more than just here, watching, adjusting, and having been doing so without uttering a single word. On April 7th, the magnetometer array at CERN, calibrated to match the LHC's a record of superconducting magnets global rather than local magnetic ripple global, not solar-induced. The rhythm contained for 0.72 seconds and embedded structures without harmonics match any known origin on Earth. But hours passed before the most terrifying detail later, when the Deep Space Network of NASA, a signal from Voyager 1 arrived, time-stamped to match the pulse of the Earth to the 10th of a second. However, this was impossible. They are not present on Voyager 1 equipment for detecting or transmitting such data. Encoded data was present in the signal. Nested prime intervals, wavelets, and faraway quantum-corrected frame matrices beyond what Voyager was designed to send. The conclusion was that Voyager billed the signal. It was utilized. Someone or something made it work. Also that Neo's activation was perfectly timed. As if by magic, Oumuam's prime number burst system hidden throughout our solar system had recently awoken. Brian Cox, an astrophysicist, broke public ranks with academics who are cautious, suggesting the possibility that Neo Oumuamua is not a probe, but a node, a silent monitor system, an inactive network that is left to monitor civilizations like ours as we achieve critical technological milestones. Take a look at it. There was no contact or invasion, merely observation and possibly evaluation. This theory, which is currently in the open, aligns with the great scientific panel's a new filter hypothesis that civilizations do not come through because they've developed decision-making systems who ought to be known. And now together, the pulse that Voyager and CERN detected impossible response, and many people believe that sparked the subsequent phase. A check, a warning, or judgment, nobody is aware. But one thing is obvious, they weren't there for us. We were discovered a long time ago. Now what? The rules might change now that we've noticed them. Be changing soon. The public is waiting for answers while something is going on behind closed doors. NASA documents that were leaked, and ESA, or the European Space Agency, reveals a deep fracture. Not NEO's concern Oumuamua is, but it depends on how long known. Emails from within show that the orbital 6 anomalies were discovered close to Saturn months prior to its official release spotted, but were categorized as disturbances that are not high on the priority list. Echo 9, in a report of an incident information about the James Webb Space Telescope, had recorded distant approaching irregular heat signatures from the Oort cloud's direction, yet there was no alert issued. The cause danger of panic. One high-ranking ESA advisor wrote, "The public cannot, according to reports, think about what we're seeing, and then the data remained submerged until the object landed well above our heads." But now that it has stopped, hovered, pulsed, that silence has become impossible to contain. For the first 3 days of its hovering above Earth's magnetic equator, NEO Oumuamua remained motionless, locked into a fixed orbital position. But then, without any known force acting upon it, the object shifted by exactly 0.5 ardegren of longitude. It was subtle, precise, controlled. Atmospheric satellites recorded a coinciding fluctuation. In low-frequency radio waves, not interference, structure. A wave packet pattern repeating every 13 seconds, echoing the same prime-based cadence first observed by JWST. But that's not all. High-resolution ionospheric mapping revealed that the object's new position overlaps directly with one of Earth's strongest magnetic convergence zones. A region scientists now suspect may act as a natural amplifier or antenna. In other words, NEO Oumuamua isn't just watching. It may be interacting with Earth's electromagnetic infrastructure and perhaps preparing it for something. In a recently declassified think tank paper, authored by a coalition of astrophysicists and theoretical physicists, a radical new idea is proposed dubbed the Veil-Se hypothesis. The theory suggests that advanced civilizations might deploy passive surveillance, objects not to observe life directly but to monitor when planetary systems begin to breach a higher layer of spatial awareness, an invisible boundary beyond which reality behaves differently. According to this theory, NEO Oumuamua isn't an explorer. It's a marker, an interstellar buoy placed in orbit to confirm that humanity has passed a technological threshold. Perhaps quantum communication, perhaps gravitational manipulation, perhaps something we don't yet understand. The presence of synchronized pulses, electromagnetic anomalies, and altered gravitational measurements all point to a chilling possibility. We have crossed the veil, and now the universe is watching what we do next. The most disturbing conclusion, however, comes not from scientists but from engineers. A group of signal analysts studying Voyager 1 and 2 believe that NEO Oumuamua may be part of a larger system we've never detected because we're inside of it. Their model proposes a mesh, a massive multidimensional lattice of listening nodes that wrap around planetary systems like a soft shell. We never noticed it because we weren't loud enough. But now, with our quantum experiments, space-based AI and gravity wave emissions, we've finally made enough noise to activate the net. According to their projections, what's hovering above us isn't a probe. It's a mirror, a perfectly silent device designed to reflect back exactly what we're. And what happens after that reflection completes remains terrifyingly unknown. Music. For centuries, we believed we were the explorers. We built telescopes, launched spacecraft, mapped galaxies, all with the quiet hope that we might one day find something out there. But now, as NEO Oumuamua hovers silently above our world, not moving, not speaking, not attacking, we are forced to confront a darker, far more humbling truth. We were never the observers. We were always the observed. The James Webb Space Telescope didn't just catch an object drifting through space. It caught a presence, a system, a moment in which the universe itself seemed to pause. As if something ancient, something far beyond comprehension had finally turned its gaze toward us. And in that gaze, we didn't find welcome. We didn't find answers. We found a warning. Because NEO Oumuamua didn't come here by accident. It didn't arrive with curiosity. It arrived with purpose. It is not spoken because it doesn't need to. It already knows how we are. Our fears, our chaos, our noise. It came not to begin contact, but to decide if contact should ever happen. And now the question that haunts every scientist, every government official, and maybe deep down every one of us is this: what if the silence isn't waiting for us to speak? What if the silence is our judgment? What do you think Oumuamua really is? A probe, a mirror, a test? Let us know in the comments below. Subscribe for more revelations the world isn't ready to hear. And remember, the scariest discoveries are not the ones we make out there, but the ones that reveal what's already watching us here.